Welcome back. Mr. Magu's lawyer, Wahab Shitu, also spoke to Law Weekly about some of the allegations against his client and his attitude to his probe.
From the perspective of Mr. Magu, his experience has been quite unpleasant. And I'll give you reasons for that. Ordinarily, he would have thought that he would be given an opportunity to be formally invited and given time to report so that he could come with, prepared with all the necessary documents that will assist the work of the panel. But on the contrary, he was just accosted and asked to report. That in itself is not good enough. Secondly, after reporting, he was taken into custody. And he has been in custody since then. And apart from being in custody, he didn't have opportunity of access to documents, access to the allegations for which he was being called upon to answer. So, to that extent, we will say it is an unpleasant experience. But his own approach to the issue is that, nobody is above the law. No matter how big anybody is, the law is bigger. He's taking his experience with philosophical calmness. He's more concerned with, proving his innocence. He wants to be afforded fair hearing because he believes he's innocent. As I speak to you, and this is well known to everybody, in terms of achievements, his achievement is unrivaled. In terms of recoveries, it's unrivaled. In terms of in terms of convictions, as a sitting chairman of EFCC, he has posted stellar achievements. So he's holding his head very high. But in spite of that, if he's been probed, he's not opposed to the probe. Because he believes that if, no matter how big anybody is, the law is bigger. And he believes that if he's for waging the war against corruption, then he should also make himself accountable. And so he's not taking his probe with any bitterness. Most of the allegations against him, as published in the social media and newspapers, are blatant falsehood. Blatant falsehood. And you recall that we had cause to write the panel, to set the record straight, because most people just sit, some people just sit in the quiet corner of the rooms and fabricate stories against Magu. None of the allegations is true. You understand me? Well, when he had the opportunity to appear before the panel, he told the panel that most of his actions are documented. The sectional X should be invited. He was running a team. He wasn't running a one-man show. There are sectional heads in charge of access, in charge of audit, in charge of all aspects of covered by the investigation. And I thank the Honorable Justice Salami panel for trying to, for his efforts to uphold justice. They have invited all of those people, and all of those people invited are now coming up with documents to support, the work of Magu. So there's no cause for alarm at all. All those allegations are just being peddled by some people who want to see. When you fight corruption has a way of also fighting back. So this is the process. I think in a democracy, we should allow this kind of process to go on. Nobody should be above the law. So what the administration is doing is even commendable. If Magu can be brought to investigation, then nobody is above this kind of process. So, and it is not a setback for the anti-corruption war. It's a major plus. At the end of the day, when the facts are known to everybody, and Magu is exonerated, what stops him from going back to his seat? It's just suspended. And it's also okay that when an investigation is being conducted into your affairs, you step aside and allow the investigation to go on. And I think we should be very fair to the Salami party. Salami is a man of sterling integrity. He has gone through this kind of process before. He was also, put in this kind of way. And he came out unscathed. He came out with his integrity intact. So he's willing to. That is what he did when he ordered the release of Magu from detention, even though the panel was not responsible for the detention of Magu. He says so. But since the Inspector General of Police came out to say that the IG was not responsible for the detention of Magu. He said, okay, we invited him. If you say you are not the one keeping him, then young man, go home and come back when we need you with your defense intact. So we should commend, we should salute the work of the Salami panel for trying to look for the facts. So Magu is not against the probe, it's not against the Salami panel, it's not against this administration. He's fully in support of what is going on. But what he is asking for is that copies of the allegations against him be given to him, which is also fair. If you are accused of any offense, you should be given copies of the allegations so that you can appropriately respond.